to firewood and charcoal. If you choose to sell it, you sell it. If you don't choose, you'll be forced. But at some point, if it goes that bad, at some point they will have to sell it because there's nothing else available. But you don't want to get to that level when it starts to be a panic situation. You want to start limiting it now a little bit. That's why I come in. I produce the product. I came up with the idea. I've got it in the market. Now it's up to the people to embrace it and use it. But you can't force anyone to sell it or use it. With briquetting, no, I don't have competitors. I think it's a complete different product. People might say that the firewood dealers and the charcoal dealers are my competitors, but they are not. I'm not half as big as they are. They've got a market for 30, 40 years since 40 years. So my competition, I would consider if someone wanted to start a similar product, like briquetting a waste, if the groundnut shells will be sold or taken out of the country, then I have a problem. Because then the person taking the shells will be my competitor. So the only competition I can see which could give me a hard time is if the shells were not available. As long as they're available, it's enough for everybody to use. A lot of people are using fertilizer, pest control. I'm briquetting it. I mean, what we've really done is, I think all together, put it together, the farms that are using it and my company, together with the women that are using it for their farms, it actually cleans up the mess, or it cleans up quite fast. So we're actually cleaning the environment by doing that. And at this point, there's enough for everybody. Yeah? No competition. I mean, in Africa, we're only 3 companies in Africa that are briquetting right now. Myself, there's one in South Africa, and there's a new one just opening in Ghana. I'm the second in Africa that started this. So that's why I've been invited to all the... I just came from prior in the Africa Innovation Summit. I was one of the innovators they chose, 5 in Africa, to showcase their innovation and see what Africans can do to tackle their own issues. Huh? We don't have to rely on people from outside anymore. When I mentioned earlier, the study I read about the smoke issue when we started doing it, it was smoking a lot more than charcoal. And, you know, we had to create an environment which is also smoke-free. So we had to come up with a design of a stove. It took about 3 months. We took different stoves that were available. There's a lot of stove designs on the internet, for example, but none of them worked. So we had to combine one with the other to make it actually work better, to control the combustion process, the inflow of energy or air. Too little oxygen is too much smoke. Too little flame is going to be too much smoke. So you have to control, the stove should control how much oxygen is being pulled in to burn the amount of briquettes inside. That's what we just did. And it's called a rockifier. It's a rocket stove with a gasifier combined, you know. So this was also, I mean, I think if people are really determined to do anything, they can do it. That's what I've always said. I mean, so I create things like this and I move on from there. I hand it over to whoever's going to continue. Huh?
Okay, you start, like you said, you are the only producer of briquettes in this sub-region. Does that mean you export your products to the foreign market?
Well, there is a big export demand for anything to do with biomass, like pellets, briquettes, and so on. But I've not looked into it yet, because I believe if I'm going to save any trees, you better save the trees in Gambia. So I'm pushing hard for the Gambians to use it. I'm not looking into export because I'm not interested. This is a product that the country should use, not to be sold to somebody else. Can you imagine Senegal saving their forests because they're using my briquettes? And we have the same problem, Gambia and Senegal, with trees. So I better use it here. As far as there's a demand here, and as far as there's a space for me to keep motivating people, have sensitizations, I will keep those briquettes here. It's going to be a Gambian product. It's going to be a solution for us Gambians.
Are Gambians taking your product?
Very well. I mean, it's growing. Huh? It's been 2 years, very, very, very slow. But I mean, if you get a new user every week, that's good. One new user every week is 1 less kilo of firewood every day. That's how I see things. I'm getting new users every week. Sometimes it's quiet for the summertime, and then suddenly you get 10 or 12 users. So it's coming. People are starting to notice that it actually works. They're starting also to notice that it is a lot healthier to preserve what we have. The resources we have are very valuable right now because Gambia is a very small country. But it's one of the most beautiful as well in the West African region. Everywhere is deserts and stones and rocks. Gambia is still green. The mangroves are there. The forests are still there. We don't have too many citizens. People don't, you know, we don't spoil. But the rate is going. The rate is going now. Is going to be spoiled within 10, 15 years.
You have to train people to use these briquettes at home?
Yes. Everything you do, you have to learn. because firewood burning is different, charcoal burning is different, and burning anything else, you have to teach them how to learn it. Some people are willing to learn, and I normally tell them one thing: look, everything you've done in your life, you have to learn. You have to learn how to breastfeed as a baby. You have to learn how to walk. You have to learn how to use charcoal. Our grandparents did when charcoal was introduced. Then they came up with a solution that they have now. And with firewood, first it was on 3 stones, now you have stoves doing it. You have to learn how to use everything. But it's very easy to learn how to burn briquettes. It's very, very easy. Well, some of the problems I face, I think, is general problems working anywhere. Getting a new product into the market is not easy. They have to understand it first. And that's one of my main problems, is to sensitize people, to make them understand what this product is all about, and not only about the benefits are. My second difficulty is the usual also that everybody has, which is money. You need money to decentralize. Huh? So I'm stuck in this area. If I had enough funds, I would have bought 3 more pickups, 2 more sales points in Brikama and Tangi, and I would have been moving to those areas. Apart from that, I think the environment to work here is very friendly, which everybody knows. I mean, you never get problems to work, to do business, registering and so on. All these things are okay, they're all easy. But getting the product out there is the main issues that we have in difficulties, and they are related to finances. Some of the issues are related to sensitization, of course, convincing people to use it because of the benefits. But you have to keep going. You have to keep telling them how good it is. You have to keep telling them how it will benefit us. But yeah, those difficulties, which are common difficulties, are finances to decentralize, to get the product to the people. Now the product is here, but it's here. How are they going to get in Basse? Now these are the questions coming now. How are they going to get in for a penny? For these things you need a lot more money than opening a plant like this. I mean, trucks are expensive, pickups are expensive, building sales points are expensive, training people are expensive. But this you don't have to give up on, because these kind of things take time. You know, if you open a new sales point every year, it's okay too. 3. We are only 3. Myself, my son Tony, and Usainu, that's the guy that helps us, the laborer. Every other staff that we use are actually all contracts, labor. Well, in the next 10 years, I'd like to see 30% of the firewood charcoal users in this area using briquettes instead. That's where I want to see the company next 10 years.
Mbokki Gambia lii di Afri chips bi nga xam ne mooy buuri chips yi te nekkal xale yi loolu tax na be Afri chips indil leen ñaari flavor yu ees lii di sugar flavor ak cheese flavor neex na am na caf ko te baax na lool si yéen xale yi lii tax na be Afri chips isil leen téeméeri ngan may ak juróom fukka pour yéen xale yi lii tax na bépp paquet Afri chips bi ngeen ubbi di ngeen fa fekk benn ngañ may pour bégal leen yéen ñi di xale yi ndax Afri chips xale la fi nekkal kon xale yi daw leen léegi si bépp bitik wala bépp supermarket bu leen jege te jënd fa lii di Afri chips flavor yi ndax Afri chips xale yi ñoo ko tax a jóg.
You know what I realized during the break?
What?
That anybody who's watching the show right now knows that you copied my colors. You have our colors are almost identical.
Wait, you know purple is my best color.
Social media marketing is one of the most important types of online marketing, where businesses are marketing their products or services and brands on social media websites like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, etc.
According to Media Bistro, 73% of businesses are using social media these days. This clearly shows the growing importance of social media marketing among businesses.
Social media marketing has become an essential part of online marketing strategy because of its cost effectiveness, ability to reach targeted audiences quickly, and generation of more leads and sales.
Let's discuss these things in detail. Social media is effective and inexpensive. Social media marketing is very important for businesses because of its inexpensiveness and ability to reach large number of targeted audiences within less time and very little efforts. According to Forbes, 94% of corporates are using social media, and 85% said that it has given their business more exposure.
Branding can be done effectively on social media. Social media marketing is the best tool for branding your business. According to Social Media Today, 83% of customers prefer to connect to the brand on Facebook and 53% on Twitter. A recent study also reported that 46% of online users count on social media while making purchase decisions,